Welcome, everyone, to Laugh and Learn Human Design. Oh, my God.
What?
Sorry. My eye had anyhow. Doesn't matter.
Is everything okay?
Everything is fine. I could hear stuff in the background. I had windows open that were not muted. So I was hearing myself.
Okay.
So, okay. I'm Gerald TarotStache. Today, we're joined by the amazing Jennifer from My Holistic Self, and we are exploring human design's primary health system.
Mm-hmm.
And think of it as your body's best setting. Determination, environment, perspective, and motivation are the four arrows, which we may get to today, but probably not. Because there's a lot of good information here. And we're not talking about what you should eat or rigid rules. We're talking about simple human scale experiments that you can make that can make your energy steadier and your focus clearer. If you're watching on the replay, thank you, future lurkers. Drop your profile, your chart details if you have them, and feel free to pause and take notes. Today's intention is curiosity over compliance, insight over perfection. And again, on a quick note and an important note, this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance. Really. Because we want you to take what resonates, leave the rest.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. And so we're going to open the toolbox and find the tiny tweaks that let your human design breathe.
I love that.
Well, thanks. And Jennifer, I am glad you're here.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks so much for having me back to keep talking to you all.
Oh, yes, it's great. This is all of your links are below in the description. Lots of ways for people to contact you, find out more information, find out about your latest book. All of that is in the description. So don't forget that. If you are just finding this, our live, the Laugh and Learn playlist is listed in the description, as well as the Human Design playlist. Jennifer and I've been talking about this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer has this also on your website.
Yes.
So, so there's that. So, how are you?
Doing well. You?
I am great, other than that little blurb at the beginning, which, okay, there we go. It's all done.
Good.
So we have some of our best chatters here.
Mm-hmm.
We have some of the work lurkers. I'm so sorry, but I'm glad you're here. We have the best lurkers and the future lurkers. So this is great to have everybody joining us. And so there you go. I'm gonna take a pause, and I'm gonna say, Jennifer, how did you first come into the human design stuff?
Sure. I had been introduced to it a couple times over the years, but I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to it or understand exactly what it was all about until I actually had a client ask me to bring it into session. And I went, oh, I want to learn a little bit more about all of this. And then I started to deep dive. Because, of course, as soon as I actually opened that door, I realized just how much was involved in it. And so deep dive I did. And I have been kind of ever since.
Mm-hmm.
And again,
Yeah.
it's so much with that projector energy. Yes, I'd seen it. Yes, I'd, heard this or that about it, but not really anything in particular. But being invited into it was exactly what I needed
Yes.
in order for me to open that door.
I love that. I love that. How many of you are watching have gotten your human design body graph? If you have not, you can do that in the description, following the description there. Jennifer's going to help us sort of see where this fits
Mm-hmm.
and all that. But we're going to start with this question. For someone new to primary health systems or PHS, how would you explain what it is and why it's important?
Yeah, I think that is a fantastic question. And even before we dive into that, one of the things I want to just point out is if you are brand spanking new to human design,
Mm-hmm.
don't focus on this yet.
No.
One of the things that Ra Urahu, who channeled from the voice this transmission of human design, one of the things that he had said is that everything about human design starts with the basics.
Yes.
And this has to do with living your strategy and authority.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that being said, I think that there is a little bit of a chicken and egg kind of component. We need to be living our strategy and authority in order to be able to really grasp what we're going to be talking about next in terms of the primary health system, which I like to call personal health system because it is uniquely personal to each of us. So you'll have heard me refer to it before as the personal health system. It's the same thing. It's just Ra calls it the primary health system. And for reasons, because it is important that's primary. That being said, there are aspects of what he talks about that express that we need to say be in our correct environment in order to fully live our strategy and authority.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is what I mean by that chicken and egg thing.
Yes.
Right? So we do want to be mindful of these aspects, but ultimately the main kind of practice needs to be working with that strategy and authority and getting ourselves out of our mind.
Isn't that the truth? Getting ourselves out of our minds.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the whole thing. Like we've talked so much already about strategy and authority. And what people don't often understand, or it takes time to understand as you're practicing it, is that by living based on our strategy and authority and not our mind, we actually liberate ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And we're no longer dictated by the distortions that the mind has.
Yes.
And this is all part of that, because what ends up happening when we get into the primary health system is we start to understand significant aspects of what it is to live healthily for us based on our design.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's beautiful because it's no longer about having to figure it out or having to think it through. It's really clear. And so often when I've talked to people about the primary health system, say with just simply digestion, I often get, oh, yeah, I love eating that way, but everybody always tells me I shouldn't, or I should do this instead, or whatever. And so I always come back to this, but every aspect of human design for me is about giving ourselves permission to be who we already know we are.
Mm-hmm.
And the primary health system is no different.
Yes. I love that. That's good. Thank you for the people who are joining us. Appreciate you being here. This is great. Pamela said, I tried to get mine, but I don't think I did it right. We can figure that out, Pamela. So we can figure that out. Okay. That's great. And I am so glad you got the invitation to start exploring human design.
Yeah.
But okay, so primary health system or personal health system, what is it? How would you explain it?
Yeah. So basically, if I had to really kind of simplify what this is, there's variables in our chart, and these variables, the way that they kind of define how we live our lives. And so each of these express different ways that we show up in the world, but they're also telling us about how it's best for us to show up in the world.
Mm,
So, we've talked about authority, and we talked about inner authority and how we need to follow our inner authority in order to make decisions. But
yes.
then we kind of touched on outer authority. And I think we only just touched on it a little bit. But outer authority is actually what the mind is used for. And our outer authority is about taking the wisdom that we gain by living correctly and being able to share that with
Mm,
the world. And that's a proper use of the mind and its workings.
yes.
And so when we talk about living correctly, that's really what the personal health system or the primary health system, that's what it's all about.
Hmm.
And so we look at it and go, okay, I guess we can start with looking at the chart, or we can dive in, because there's so many different ways I was thinking about, like, how do we go about this? But let's start with the arrows, because I think that this is going to be just so you know where we're talking about in the chart. And that way you guys can have an idea of what.
These are the 4 arrows, but she's going to show us exactly where it is on your chart.
Yes.
So we're sharing a screen. So please use this opportunity to like this video, add it to your playlist. And here we go. There we are. I'm going to remove that.
Okay. So there we go. So what you'll see when you do run your chart, so this is the one that's on my website. So again, you'd go up to additional services, and then you'd go to the human design coaching, and it'll give you what you need to fill your information in. And then this is what would pop up for you. So I just did a Jane Doe who was born right now at the start of our show. And but what we're looking at when we're looking for the primary health system here is these arrows here and the numbers that are associated with them. And what they bring us to when we look at the write-ups has to do with this down here. So digestion, sense, design sense, motivation, perspective, environment. This whole area at the very bottom is what they're telling us about. And so if you do get your chart, you can go ahead and click on them, and it'll tell you about what those particular attributes mean. And if you print it, it'll do the same. So you can print this write up with all of the extra information if you just go here to download PDF.
Yes.
Okay. If you go into mini HD report, I'll show you what you see. So let me share again.
I'm going to actually show people, look closer, that's what they look like.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see the arrows that she's specifically referring to. All right. She just added that. So there we go.
Okay, so this is the report that you get if you do the mini report, and it just goes through the basics, and you'll see here we have the strategy and authority that are laid out for you. But then we get here, and you'll see I actually have circled in there the arrows that this one is associated with. And so based on that and the numbers associated is where we get these different areas. So digestion, perspective, design sense, and sense, those are going to always be there. But then what comes below it, in this case, the slow, that's going to change based on the 6 different options.
I see.
Okay, so that'll be unique for each. And then again, at the bottom, the arrows here, right, have to do with our environment and motivation. And so this is what we're looking at as we're talking about the the primary health system.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at those particular arrows. And then again, like I said, the numbers that are associated with them determine what we're going to be. And you'll notice too, if these ones are all 4, 5, and 6, so the arrows are all right facing. If they were 1, 2, and 3, the arrows would actually be left facing. And so this is the binary division, which you don't have to worry about, but it's just an interesting thing. So if you didn't actually see the arrows and you had a 1, 2, 3, you'd know it was left versus 4, 5, 6, which is right.
Nice. And Ellen Laura said, looking forward to joining you and sharing my time meeting and studying with Ra in 1997 and my mystical experiences.
Yeah, Ellen actually reached out to me because of the Lyran book. And has some Lyran connections. And then as we connected, she realized, oh, we both have a human design connection as well. And so we're talking about potentially getting together and having a nice little conversation about that for all of you.
I love that. That's great.
Yeah, it's super exciting.
Okay. So you explained this. Did you actually, I want to give you the opportunity. Did you say why it's important?
Yeah, it's about living our healthiest lives.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can go about doing everything we're doing, but we feel sluggish, and we feel like we're not connected, and we feel like we're not grounded, and we have all of these things that are going on because most of the time we're living out of alignment. But if we're able to go, hey, you know what? Like, I know for me, digestion, I have a low digestion, which means that I need to digest things. And whether it's food or information, when things are quiet around me, I really struggle when there's noises and things happening around me. And so I recognize that. And as I shift that, I'm able to digest my food better. I'm allowing myself to sit with and process information in ways that I can't on my own. And then I feel like I'm more able to do those things as I progress forward. Versus, I go out to a loud restaurant to eat and I can't make it home without my food going right through me. I don't feel good. There's just these things that we realize change when we're honoring our primary health system.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have a question from Pamela. Is the foundation astrology?
It is. Our chart is. We get our chart based on astrology. So it's your birth date, time, location, and that's how you get your chart. Astrology is just one component in human design.
Yes. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. All right. That's okay. So how is our personal health system different from other wellness models or self-care systems?
It's unique to you.
I mean, you can't argue with that.
I mean, how many times have we gone to different programs or things like that, diets and stuff, and people go, oh, well, you should do this, right? We have all of these different diets that are out there, right? No carbs, all carbs, meat, no meat, whatever it is. And they're made to be this kind of universal, everybody should just do this.
Yes.
And they're going to be healthy. And that's not true. Each person is uniquely who they are, and their design, this is going back and going, this is actually what's going on, and this is what you need to know in order to do what feels right for you. And so again, we don't take anything in isolation. And I think this is part of what comes up when you're working with anything like human design or anything else, is we take this little chunk of it and we go, okay, I've got this information, so that's good. I'm just going to run with that. Right? Or I've got this little bit of information and I'm just going to run with that. Well, yes and no. I have low digestion, so does my partner. I'm a projector, he's a manifesting generator, and we have different authorities. And so when we determine what we're going to eat, how much we're going to eat, what that looks like I have to be very mindful of what my needs are versus what his needs are.
Mm-hmm.
Right. One of the things I remember learning very early on is that, generators and manifesting generators, because of that sacral energy, they need to feed that. Right. Because they need to be able to have the energy to go. As a projector, I don't eat the same way. So I really struggle with having just big meals. And I've always done better with grazing here and there as my energy needs.
Yes.
Right, to refill that. And so, we recognize that, yes, this primary health system, it is personal to us and it does help us to understand, but we also want to take it into account with the bigger picture of all that our design shows us we are.
Yes. Yes.
I know there's some.
Yeah, there was a question. Scroll down to get your free body graph, Norman. Scroll down and you'll see it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see it. I like how this is very much, it's based upon you. There's going to be similarities, but nothing's going to be exactly the same. And that's fine.
No, because even looking at it from the authority perspective, right? The emotional, he's going to need to sit with it and think about what he wants to eat. Whereas I'm very splenic. That's my authority. I don't know what I want to eat an hour from now, 2 hours from now. Ask me an hour from now or 2 hours from now, and I'll tell you what it is. Which, again, there's that, that piece which works out really well. He's the planner, so he's going to sit with it and think about it and all of that. And then I'm going to decide in the moment if I want to eat it or not.
And that's fine.
Right.
Just, I think this is that also that idea that when we have awareness of our own foibles and our uniqueness, what works and what doesn't, we have the ability to adjust and to work well with others. So, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. I love that. So where do you want to go next?
Well, I think probably just starting with showing you guys about the variables, and then we can go from there.
Okay.
So let's go here to the window, and I'm going to share this lovely image. And so this is one of the images that was used in Ra's teachings. And it looks, I know when you look at it, it looks all complicated and whatnot. But what we're really looking at here is across the top. This is in alignment with the black side of the chart. So on the website, actually, let me open up mine because I want to make sure I get the colors right there. So it's the orange, that yellow orange.
It's this
side.
part.
And then the other side is the red side. So on traditional human design charts, it's black and red. But if you're on my website, that's the orange and the blue. Okay. And what we're looking at is the arrows in the direction that they're facing on each side. And so in the example that I had given for somebody who was born right at the start of our show, they fall in this quadrant because all of their arrows are right facing. So we look at it and we go personality side, left, left. Right? Personality side, left, right. Right, left, and right, right. So you can see that the color is associated. Right? So all of these are right, right.
And she's pointing to the farthest right.
Oh, can you not see my arrow?
It's very small.
Okay. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I'm wondering if I can now. If I do that, nope.
Does that make a difference? No?
Not really. No.
Okay.
So she's looking at the right
My
book
pointer is tiny.
where it says at the top, it says PRR is
Right.
what you're describing.
Right. So if you look at that top, it's the top right corner box. It says PRR. And then if you look down those arrows, they're all right facing. All the black ones are right facing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's the same if you go to the very, very bottom one there, DRR, that red box at the bottom on the left.
At the bottom left, yes.
You'll notice that all of those red arrows are right facing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's the way that the chart is read. So it is that simple.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see each written on here. So if that top
top left under
is
the ELL and the DLL.
Yeah. So if it's left facing, it's active. Right? Whereas if we go all the way down here, the right facing is passive.
Okay. Left facing is active.
Right facing is passive. We'll get into all of this when we do the full breakdown of each of the areas as well. I'm just showing you the binary here. So you can see the difference, right? Whereas the next one is observe and then observer. Right? You can just see like the two sides of the coin. Right? So this
which
here.
Button are you in? Which?
So let's go DLL, PLL. So the top left box.
Yes.
Is all left facing.
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm bouncing to the bottom right box, which is all right facing. Because it's just easy to show the opposites.
Mm-hmm.
So we bounce between them. So if we start at the very top left arrow, we've got active and passive. Right? We go down to the bottom left, the bottom red arrow, and it's observed and observer.
Okay.
Right? And then the black arrow, the top black one there, is strategic, receptive. Right? And focused, peripheral. So like I said, we'll get into what each of these mean as we go through the different areas. But what I'm trying to show you is that based on which way these arrows are facing, we have all of these different dynamics happening within us. Mm-hmm. And so everything from all of them facing left to all of them facing right, we may have different ways that we are processing information, different ways that we are meant to experience the world and be in the world. And there's such a variety within all of us that even if we have certain things that are similar in our chart, this is going to make a big difference for how we're showing up in the world and how we're experiencing our world.
Yes.
And this is what the primary health system is coming from. Okay, is from what's going on with these arrows.
Okay. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Whew.
Yeah. Okay, so Norm's having a bit of a struggle there really quick. Again, on the website.
Do you want to pull up the website?
Yeah, let's see which.
I'm going to remove this.
Go here, go.
We're working with you, Norman, or Norm.
Yeah, here we go. So on the website, okay, what you're going to do, and I'm just going to go home to reset it. Okay, so you're on the home page. Go to additional services, human design and coaching, and it's going to show you this. You're just going to want to fill in your information. Leave the HD traditional alone. Okay, put your information in, your birth, your place of birth, your date of birth, and your time. Make sure you do the AM, PM. And then you're just going to click view your chart. Okay.
I'm wondering if he was actually using under my
passenger
consciousness.
Yep. So if we go here, right here, get your free chart. Are you seeing this? Oh, no, hold on. Share this tab instead.
There you go.
Okay, get your free chart. And it'll do the same thing. It's going to load in that box, and you're going to go ahead and fill in your information and get the same thing. So either site, whichever one you're on, this is what you're looking for, and that's going to allow you to get the information.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Norm, it's under, on the My Holistic Self, it's under additional services, under passenger consciousness. Just scroll down, it's there. So that's how I relate to it. But
yeah,
I'm very glad you were asking, Norm, and sticking with this.
mm-hmm.
It's insightful, and this is one of those things. This is a lot to take in.
Yeah,
I encourage small tastes.
Yeah, well, and that's why as we were talking about, okay, let's go ahead and do this. And I thought, what is it that's going to be the most important to start with? Yes. And that's why I wanted to express right at the beginning, like, if you're brand new to this isn't where you're going to start.
Yeah.
Right. Go on back and watch some of the other shows,
Mm-hmm.
Learn about your aura type, learn about your strategy, your authority. That's really where you want to start.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Right? Get that mini report. It's free on my website. Okay. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and get it. It's going to talk a bit about the primary health system and what it is for you personally, and just start to play with that.
Yes.
Right. So if it talks about digestion, and again, like this one said low, so it was just like mine, right? You want to digest food and information. And the environment, the volume of the environment is going to be important. So there's going to be different things. And as I said, when we dive into each specific category, mm-hmm. then we'll break it down into all of the nuances of each one. This is introductory.
This is introductory. We're getting the digits 0 through 9, putting them together so we get the double and triple and quadruple digits.
Mm-hmm.
The personal health system is doing more. It's like adding math to it.
Yeah.
So Pamela asked, is this system diagnostic or therapeutic or
both?
Both. Yes, that's what I was thinking. Both.
A little bit of both. If you're struggling with something and you take a look at this and you go, oh, actually, I'm not honoring this part of how I operate, that can be a bit diagnostic, because you can go, okay, what is it that I'm doing that is out of alignment, and what do I need to do to come into alignment? And so we might say, you know what, like, what's a good example? Let's say your determination is a 1, and that's the 1 is kind of the baseline, the most. And the way that Ra talks about it's like the caveman kind of diet, right? It's the most basic. And because this has to do with the conditions of what you're eating, as opposed to the circumstances around where you're eating, again, 1 through 3 is going to be, and like I said, we'll get into this more later, but it has to do with what the specific way that you're taking the food in.
Mm-hmm.
And so somebody who, say, has a consecutive digestion, they need to eat things one at a time. It's not about mixing your food together. You may not even like stews, things like that. You probably want to, you'll naturally maybe want to take things in one at a time. But if you're not doing that, then this is a really great opportunity to make that shift and try to take
mm-hmm.
things in that way. And so again, like when we dive into them specifically, we'll talk exactly about what that means to have a consecutive digestion versus an alternating, and all of that. But we'll get there. I see there's more.
Yes. Norm, I actually put in a link directly to the chart. Try that.
Okay.
Try that. It's going to take you out of YouTube, but that's okay. So. Well, and I also think what's really important, like many things, if we change one thing, pay attention to the impact of that one change, other things may sort themselves out or become very clear. Clarity around things is extremely useful.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's part of some people are all or nothing. I'm going to say this is a go slowly. Go slowly.
Absolutely. There's a reason why Ra called this an experiment, the human design experiment.
Mm-hmm.
We're meant to play with it and to experiment with it and to allow ourselves to explore what it all means.
Yes.
And so we give ourselves permission. Yes.
Yes.
Go to that website.
Yeah, it does go to a different website, Norm. It does. There's still connections.
Yeah. But it allows us to kind of try on different ways of being that maybe have always felt more aligned, but because of our conditioning, because of our families, whatever is going on around us, we have somehow walked away from that aspect within ourselves.
Yes. Yeah. So you I guess, part of the things is that for you, this has been, well, let me slow down here. Let me take a sip. Everybody take a sip.
I like that. Sip.
What's been your own experience discovering your personal health system? Has there been something surprising to you?
Not surprising, probably more validating than anything else. So as an example, like I'll come back to the digestion piece. With low digestion, I never liked eating in cafeterias. I never liked eating around large groups of people. I didn't like to, I've never liked to, talk very much while I eat.
Yes.
And so it was one of those things where I remember, being at work and everybody's sitting in the cafeteria and Jen's going out to her car to eat her lunch. And why isn't Jen coming in to sit with us in the cafeteria? And why is Jen so antisocial? It's like, I'm not antisocial. I just needed that quiet. And I didn't know why. I just knew that I needed it.
Yes.
And so when I realized that my digestion was low and it just completely validated that experience for me of, okay, that makes a lot of sense now as to why I never felt okay in those situations. I could sit in there no problem with them and chat if I wasn't eating.
Yes.
I just didn't want to eat in there. And, you go through and you think, well, like, am I embarrassed about eating or am I having a struggle? And it's like, no, like that has nothing to do with it. It's just not how I digest.
Yeah. I was glancing at my chart and my digestion is indirect. So the type of light
Right. So
matters to me.
Yeah. And sometimes even the time of day.
Yes.
Right. So I would be curious if you tend to be a night snacker as opposed to a daytime eater.
Oh, I'm a total night snacker. Hi, everybody. Gerald. I'm a night snacker. It's okay.
It is, because with indirect, what we're looking at is eating when it's not bright out.
Yes. Yeah. And okay, Iron Fire Horse got the chart there too. Pamela brings up something. The difficult part for me is to activate the healthy mindset. The part of me that can adhere to healthy eating, I know what is good and makes me feel good. Yeah, yes, Pamela, for entertainment purposes only. You've really identified an important part for you I encourage you to go. I'm going to do slight nuances based upon my personal health system and see if that enhances or decreases the choices I've been making. Because it's not about what you eat. It's about how you eat and how you do these things, right? I mean,
Well, it depends. Again, remember the hexagram is split up into 6. And so we have the 1 through 3, and then we have the 4 through 6.
yes.
And this is the way it is for all of them, because the 1 through 3 have their own kind of parameters, whereas the 4 through 6 have their own. And that's because the 1 through 3 are left facing and the 4 through 6 are right facing. And what we look at is the 1 through 3, at least when it comes to the health, the eating aspect of it, it's conditions around the food. So it does have to do with what you're eating more. The 4 through 6 has to do with the circumstances
I see.
around your
Okay.
food. And so it's about the conditions in which you need to take food in, as opposed to the food itself.
So that's partially correct then. It's not, it's about the how, not necessarily the what, yet the what is extremely important.
Yeah. And it's not even the what as in like, should I have, a carrot or should I have a cupcake? Like, obviously, like those kinds of things we want to do based on what our body feels, right? Healthy with. It's about other kind of aspects around eating. So I think this is going to be kind of where we dive in next, because it seems to be where everybody wants to go.
Sure. Well, yeah, that and that's part of the receptivity of it. It's interesting. Follow the fascination. This is follow what goes. Don't forget the basics, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so when we look at the different systems, and like I said, I think we'll break them down next time, but basically for the eating part, the first 3, it's appetite for 1, appetite, taste, and thirst. And the conditions around them, it's like if you're going through that primitive piece, right? So you're going from the hunter to the gatherer, to the transformer who's able to kind of move between, but it's still very basic in the way that in the way that you're eating, versus when you go up into the 4, which is that more kind of energetic. It's about touch, and it's about the circumstances. So this is where we look at calm and nervous, or we go into the sensitive where we have sound and light. And so Gerald, you and I both, because I'm a 5 and you're a 6, we have that they're the sensitive. It's more selective in terms of our environments in which we can eat. And so you've got the high and low, and then the direct and indirect. And so these are all things that as we explore them, you're going to get to see and kind of feel into, okay, where am I in this? And let's say I am a 3 and I'm right facing. So that means I have cold digestion. What that means is I'm not going to do very well if my food is super hot. It can be warm, but if it's really, really hot, my body's not going to process it well. It's not going to feel good inside me. Right? So it's not saying that you can't have tea, but what it's saying is you might not want to have tea right out of the pot.
Correct.
You might want to let it sit for a little bit, right? It's those kinds of things that we're looking at. We're not looking at, like, okay, for this person, and again, this is the way like regular diets work, right? For this person, no carbs. And for this person, only have vegetables. And for this person, you want to have a paleo diet. And for this person, that's not what it's about. Those kinds of things have to do with what feels correct in your body. It's more, say, for somebody who has, I don't know, a consecutive diet, they may have like a kick where they feel like, you know what, I just want to have this particular meal. Maybe I want, chicken and broccoli and rice, and that's what I want to eat. And I just want to eat that. And I want to eat that for
Mhm.
days at a time
Sure.
because
Yes.
that's what feels good for me.
Yes.
Right. And then eventually maybe they want to shift it, and that's okay. And maybe they don't, and that's also okay.
Mhm.
Whereas, say, an alternating diet might be more seasonal. In the summer, they feel like they want to eat more berries and stuff. And then come the winter, maybe they want to have a little bit more of the hearty stuff. Like it's going to change, but it's still more consistent.
Mhm.
Right?
Yes.
Whereas somebody, with a low or high, or, like you, Gerald, direct or indirect, we might try something different every day. It's not about the food intake itself so much as the environment in which we're taking it in.
Correct. I want to get caught up in some of the chat. Pamela
Yes.
also brought up there is also the why, my familial history, my culture, my hormones, my internal chemistry. Yes, and that is an important thing to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
And you and your body really, really well, which is why, for entertainment purposes only, when I'm talking to my doctor, I'm telling my doctor all of the things that are going on with me, regardless of if I think they're important or not,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm used to those.
Yeah.
Iron Firehorse says, I have a lot of allergies and anaphylactic to foods, or anaphylaxis to food. So I'm very specific about what I eat.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I'm glad you're following that.
Absolutely. And it's important to follow whatever it is that you're feeling.
Yes.
And again, entertainment purposes only, but I would be curious what your digestion is, and if over time, if you were following that, if things would shift for you or not. And I'm not saying try it when you have anaphylaxis. I don't mess with that.
Yeah.
But I do think that sometimes these things come in because we haven't been honoring what our body needs, and so that is part of it for sure. And then really quick to Pamela, what you were saying, because I do think that, yes, we are conditioned in a lot of ways from our family, our culture, and then we're told what that means in terms of our hormones and everything else. And I think that there is a component to that, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be what dictates us.
Good point. Very good point. Norm, I am glad that you are, you're lost with what we've got. You found the chart. This is good. Playback is always available to you. Again, start with the basics of your chart. Don't start with the personal health system. You will be jumping in from basic math into quantum algebra and quantum physics. Not recommended. Not recommended.
I appreciate that analogy.
Yes. And Iron Firehorse says closed beside digestion.
Okay. Yeah. So again, right, you're going to want to make sure that you're being very mindful about what you're eating, which is very fitting for your experience.
Yes.
And like I said, again, we're gonna go into it, but closed is closed to new foods. It's eating the same foods over and over again and being okay with that. If a food isn't right for you, your body will not take it in.
Yes.
Right?
Sure.
And that makes sense with the anaphylaxis and all of that, because your body's just saying, no, I don't want this.
Yes. No, thank you. No, I said no. Now this is what I'm going to do.
And so for somebody with closed digestion, it is ideal for them to choose similar foods from day to day.
Yes.
And so that's very, very much fitting to your experience.
Pamela did mention, although current scientific research is leaning that way to understanding and recognizing the things, I believe.
Yeah, and we are learning too about hormones and stuff like that. And I remember years and years and years ago having a book that actually talked about diet based on blood type. And
I
so
remember that. Yes.
yeah, and so there's a lot of things out there, and I'm not negating those kinds of things because I do think that, where we are hormonally and all of that, it does make an impact. If,
Mhm.
we talk about, women, perimenopause, menopause, like there's a shift in our hormones and we don't digest things the
Yes.
same way.
Yes.
That being said, if we're honoring where we're at and something doesn't fit or flow properly, we're going to be more likely to know what's going on inside of us
Yes.
than if we're not.
Mhm. Yes. And this is a complicated thing that we're talking about, and you need to have these good basics under your belt before you
Mhm.
try to overlap this.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to remember, like, I know I'm using digestion because it's such an easy one. I know that if I'm going to eat, I want to eat in a low environment. I want to
Mhm.
eat in a place where there's not a ton of noise. I want to eat in a place where I can control the sound around me. I know that about myself. What I eat still has all of the other aspects of who I am that have to be
Sure.
taken into consideration, right? So,
Yes.
like I said earlier, I'm a projector. I will eat the big meal, especially when I'm really hungry, and I never feel good after.
Mhm.
I'm always like, oh my gosh, I ate too much. I didn't like that. Whereas if I get to graze throughout my day, I feel really good. I feel
Yes.
grounded. My body can digest it. I feel very healthy. It's very different how I feel around that. And a big part of whether or not I'm okay with it is that spleen. Like my partner will come in and he's cooking something and he's like, here, Jen, just smell this really quick. And I'm like, okay, I'll smell it. And I'm like, no, I'm not eating that.
Mhm.
Or I'll go, oh, that smells so good.
Well, and that is part of understanding how you are, how you operate in the parameters of your world, where
Mhm.
you are in understanding the parameters of your world and those who are supporting you with that.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
yes, yes. So,
Yeah. And I know that my spleen in that moment is what's giving me that information because
mm,
that's my authority, right? And so knowing that I have somebody who will honor that is very important.
yes, yes. They have to honor it. They don't have to understand it. They have to honor it and respect it.
Mhm. Absolutely. I mean, he can eat like anything and things are expired and I'm just like, whatever, you do you, man. But I can't. And I know that about myself. And
Yes.
so, we do hold space for one another in that way. Um, you know, Generator, right? Iron Fire Horse says, I'm a generator. This is so interesting. Generators have that energizer bunny, right? That sacral is lit up for a generator.
Hmm.
And so that generator needs to be eating in order to get that energy. And so it's, about honoring how you're supposed to be eating and what feels correct for you.
Oh,
And
yes.
again, we're going to dive into the nitty-gritty of what that looks like as we move forward. But as you hold space for that, you're going to realize like, okay, I can do this. And then I can, and I don't know if your authority is your sacral or if you have that solar plexus defined. But if the solar plexus is defined, then you're going to need to sit with something and say, like, do I really want to eat this?
Yes.
Do I really want that? And if
Hmm.
I still want it, then cool. 10 minutes later,
Of
oh,
course.
sure, I'm going to have it. But if not, then it's like, oh, okay, I don't actually need this. What do I want? Right. And have
Sure.
that sacral kind of give you that yes or no if you want something and checking in with yourself.
I love that. I love that. Jennifer, we've almost been here an hour.
It, it flies.
It's pretty incredible. So what do you have coming up? Where can people find you?
Yeah. So at 5 o'clock today, I will be on Twillo Talk with
Hmm.
Tanis. 5 o'clock Eastern. So in just a couple hours.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I will be today. And then what else do we have going on? Let me just open the calendar
And I want to encourage everyone, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you. We know you have a lot of things and options to do with your time, especially on YouTube. Thanks for spending some of it with us. Share this with people who might be interested, especially if they've already started exploring human design, because we've got a long playlist going.
Yeah, there's a lot. And really start at the beginning. Start with the one on the different aura types.
Yes.
Right. So where we do the breakdown of if you're a generator / manifesting generator, if you are a projector, a manifester, or a reflector. Mm-hmm. That's the first place you want to go. And then from there, look at the ones where we do the breakdowns about strategy and authority. Mm-hmm. And look at our centers.
It's a good playlist. I have to say, one of the things that I did for the playlist is I have it set up so that the newest videos are at the bottom. So when people are coming in, they're going to start at the beginning and follow along. So
perfect. I did that on the website as well. I think that's a great.
And Sherry, if you're listening to them, listen to them in chunks. Mm-hmm. Take notes, press pause. So
yeah. And don't, again, with the whole well, we're going to get into it when we do more of the primary health system, but how we absorb information, right? And so making sure that as you learn what the best way for you to do that is, that you then honor that as you're trying to learn something new.
Yes. Please follow the links in the description so that you can show your support. I do appreciate you all being here. Thank you, Jennifer, for taking some time again with us. Thank you for joining us for another Laugh and Learn. If this is new to you, go back to the start, get your body graph and go from there. But I think what's been really interesting is we've really only scratched the surface of the personal health system. Mm-hmm. So there's more to come. Until next time, keep laughing, learning, and keep honoring the brilliance of your design, one tiny tweak at a time. Thanks, everybody.